Brandon Larracuente, Chicago Fire, NBC, doing his thing. He plays a firefighter, Sal Vasquez. You've been acting since 4 years old.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a long journey to get here. Started out in theater and, moved to Florida, did some commercial work there, built a little resume, and moved my butt to LA. And now I'm here in Chicago, man. My job is taking me all over the world, and I'm super grateful for it, super fortunate. It's been very fruitful for me.
Today's video is sponsored by The Vibe, everyone's favorite at work or on-the-go radio station, playing Spanish and English hits from the 80s till now all day long. Turn it up, keep it here, and feel the vibe by following the QR code on your screen or tap the link in the description. Your parents are the ones that work the hardest.
Oh yeah. My mom fought tooth and nail to get me here, man. It's funny enough, I never wanted to be an actor growing up. I just did it because it was fun. Never thinking that one day it could be a profession. But yeah, I wanted to be a baseball player. I just didn't have the dedication that was necessary at that time to pursue it any further. But I'm super grateful for where life led me.
Now, you're doing your thing. You're out there. You're in Chicago Med. This is a very big episode coming up. What about this episode is striking and stands out?
I mean, this is a great episode of Chicago Fire because it's just heart-pounding from the moment it begins. It's funny, everybody kind of had that episode off except for me and the two other paramedics, Violet and Novak, played by Hanako and Jocelyn. But it's great, man. I won't give too much away, but the premise essentially is the two paramedics are at a gas station, and before they can get back in their rig to go off on a call, there's a guy who comes and waves them down, claiming that his girlfriend's in labor and they need to come immediately. So, of course, not having time to get back into their rig, they take the thing, they take their belongings and go off with him. He leads them into a basement, which is pretty odd, but we come to find out that the woman he claims was his girlfriend is actually some girl he abducted, who's tied up in a basement. And now he has them at gunpoint. The two paramedics and the girl are now basically kidnapped, and my character, Vasquez, has a hunch, and he has to follow that hunch to be able to find them before time runs out. It's a great episode, man, and I don't want to give away too much, but if that alone does not get you to tune in, I don't know what will.
The hook is hooking. It's in here. It's got me. It's reeling me in. Your parents are police. They have a police background, right?
They do. Mom and dad are both retired NYPD.
So they are in the field-ish, dealing with being public servants. Do they chime in every once in a while with your level of professionalism or your character? Be like, that's not how my friend would have done it.
It's funny on this show, no, because they don't really have a background in the fire department. But my previous show that I played a police officer, oh, you betcha. They called me at the end of every episode. Hey, are you doing it right? You making this look good? It's a part of the job, too. It's like, as an actor, as a person, you want to portray these characters accurately. So since my parents don't have a background in fire department, I'm lucky enough to be able to lean on the real firemen, some retired, some active that we have on the show, who actually are able to offer some insight.
And that's all about being an actor, right? Pulling from different things. All right, I'm calling up. I got my department here working hard, trying to get me some stats on you. The big break, I know you've been acting since 4 years old in theater, okay, doing your thing. But in 2011, someone was in an episode of Missing 48 Hours. How was that big break? How did that big break come about?
Well, it's funny. That was actually a short film that I did back before I ever moved to LA. I would say the big break, to be honest, came from the show that I did for Netflix, over 10 years ago now, called 13 Reasons Why. That really kind of opened up a lot of doors of opportunity for me. On top of that, that show, it tackled a tough topic, a topic that many people didn't want to discuss back in the day, which was, bullying and depression. So that opened up a lot of doors for me, but at the same time started a lot of conversations that were necessary in the household.
In the short film called Havana, you played Antonio.
That was a short film that I did, probably, I think, my first on-screen job ever. And yeah, that kind of introduced me to the world of filmmaking. So yeah, God, you brought me back, man. Nostalgia right there.
What did you not know then that you would tell young Brandon, as he's walking on set for Havana?
Oh man, trust the process. I've heard this before, but life is truly a journey, and you need to enjoy, every single step, or at least not enjoy, just accept the fact that it's all meant to happen, and it all leads you to a greater place. Because there were many times where I didn't book a job, and I would beat myself up for it so much that I felt like I was so right for it. But looking back in hindsight, life, God led me to where I needed to be. So just trust the process, man. That's what I would tell my younger self.
It looked like you took a lot of jobs that weren't really Hollywood jobs. How important is it as a young actor to not say no to roles and to just be open to doing just about anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you first start out as an actor, you just want to work, right? You just want to get your foot in the door. You're looking for any opportunity. And man, just in the beginning, I worked for free. I did jobs that were a one-liner, on a short film that will probably never get seen. But it was all to build a resume and all to start honing in my craft. And as you get older and as you progress in this industry, I've been fortunate enough now to where I'm in a position to where I can be a little more choosy. But in the beginning, man, I think take it all, because you never know where it's going to lead you. You never know. You worked with a director on a short film 10 years ago, and all of a sudden that director's now, directing a big Hollywood, the next Dune. You just never know. And just, build those relationships, man, because it's important.
People underestimate the amount of networking that needs to take place in Hollywood because they assume that everything goes through agents. But it's very important to reach out and be nice and kind to actors and all the coworkers because, like you say, you never know. What relationship have you seen blossom in this in this network that you're developing that that was unassuming to you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, I think in any profession, it's just, be kind to people, just like, if you can help in any way, just offer that help. But one of the ones, to answer your question, was my relationship with Wolf Entertainment. I mean, prior to Chicago Fire, I came off of a show called On Call that was on Amazon Prime, and it was a Wolf Entertainment show. And that show only went one season, but that show led me to the next opportunity because one day I was sitting at home and Wolf called and they said, hey, there might be a spot opening up on Chicago Fire. Are you interested? So that relationship that I built and garnered with them led me to being on Chicago Fire. So my advice to people out there is just, like I said, be kind, show up, do your job, be a professional, because you never know where it might lead you.
You're out there hustling, working hard, being kind. And one thing does lead to another, all right? So you're acting on theater. What did you learn on stage that you still take with you today at your job?
Showing up prepared, man. With theater, right? You film everything simultaneously, all at once. There's no cutting, there's no filming on a different day. Your performance happens within the span of maybe an hour or two. So what that taught me is to just show up prepared because you never know when the schedule might get rearranged. And a scene that you were planning to film next week now films today because of weather or an actor got sick. So yeah, it's just being prepared, showing up, and adjusting to anything and everything that can happen.
Being prepared. Now, are you an actor where you are Vasquez 24 hours a day as you go on set, or do you just tap into a piece of you when the lights go on and the camera starts rolling?
It depends what the role entails. I mean, Vasquez, I feel like he has a lot of similar qualities to me. So I get to kind of tap into that, in and out pretty easily. But there are previous roles that I've played in the past, that require a different level of concentration, So it just depends the role. I know a lot of people who, stay in it, locked in for the whole thing, and that's their process. And I think learning your process and understanding what you need so you can show up prepared, that's personal to the person.
Now, when you first start in Hollywood, you do walk on and you got bits and pieces, right? And you go and you're just a day actor, basically. You're a day character or a day portrayer, and then that's it. And then you go home. How do you feel now being part of a series, and actually having like consistent work?
You know what? It's almost like a marathon. It's not a sprint. Back in the day when I was first, breaking into the industry, like you said, I would book these guest stars that were maybe one day, one line, you know, and you don't really have to have a lot of endurance for that. But God, I just came off of season 14 of Chicago Fire, and we did 21 episodes. I was a part of 17 out of those 21, and it's just, you have to pace yourself. You have to make sure that you're getting enough sleep and that you are not overextending yourself and burning the candle at both ends, because it'll catch up to you really quickly.
Brandon Larracuente playing in NBC's Chicago Fire. Thank you so much for taking your time joining me today. I wish you so much more success in Hollywood and everything that you do.
Oh, brother, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me on.
If you're enjoying this content and would like to support the Jose Candelario Show, here are a few ways you can donate and help us keep creating more interviews, stories, and community content. Your support truly makes a difference. And thank you.